Hello students, good morning. Again we are going to study next point, that is the importance of interpersonal skills. And in previous videos we have already studied in what way we should handle the situations during the interviews specifically. Okay, means we are going to use our interpersonal skills during the interview, and those interpersonal skills help us to enhance our personality, and enhanced personality will impress the interviewers during the interview, and there are more chances to get the success in the interview. And if you once successful in the interview, there are more chances to get a new job, or there are more job opportunities, and it is depend upon the interview. And to get successful in the interview is depend upon the interpersonal skills that you are having. Okay, so this is the link. So in this today's video lecture we are going to see what is actually interpersonal skills, what are these skills. Okay, what are the aspects of that interpersonal skills or interpersonal relationship, those things we are going to study. So the points here we are going to study, those are interpersonal role of manager, dimensions of interpersonal relationship, role of communication in IPR, that is interpersonal relationship, power of active listening, self assessment, some models in practice, that is communication style, transactional analysis. And this point we are not going to study in this video lecture. So these remaining points we may focus in this video lecture. So let us see interpersonal role of manager. So everywhere we have several people who are having their particular post in their career. Okay, for example manager, for example senior manager, HR, clerk, okay, boss. These are the several positions where you work. So that is figurehead, leader, liaison. Okay, so these things we are going to or we may play the role having that particular post. Okay, so your viewpoint, what are your viewpoints? See, when someone forgets your name, how does it make you feel? Are you affected or offended in any way? If you see someone whom you meet before but forget the person's name, do you think it's better to ask for the name again? Or not admit that you have forgotten? Okay, so here both situations are given. Means someone will forget your name, and that time what you feel? And you will ask the another condition is that you will ask another's name, and afterwards you forget his name. So these are the different views given here, and it explains your what kind of your interpersonal skill is, in what way you think, what are your views about yourself and about others. Okay, so if you are being treated badly in a relationship and you don't express your dissatisfaction to the other person, would you say you are equally responsible for the mistreatment? It's your viewpoint. Hmm? Means you are treated badly and you won't express share that experience to another one. So you will feel that why should I share that experience with third person, because I am equally responsible for that situation. Do you think in this way? That is your viewpoint. Think about it. Again, interpersonal relationship. So there are reciprocal social and emotional interaction between two or more individuals in an environment. Reciprocal means give and take. Social and emotional interaction between two or more individuals in the environment or in the society. Again, there are close association between individuals who share common interests and goal. There is a close relation association between individuals who share common interests and goal. So these are the two ways, two different things or two different relationships, interpersonal relationships. Here in this relationship we interact with the more people, in the specifically in the environment, by observing your social and emotional interaction. And in this second we have close association between individuals who share common interests and goal, and accordingly we form our team or we form our group. So this is also an example of interpersonal relationship. So there are forms of interpersonal relationships. See here, one is friendship, second family and kinship, third professional relationship, love, marriage, platonic relationship, casual relationship, brotherhood, sisterhood, and acquaintances. Such kind of different forms of interpersonal communication relationship we may have, or some out of this some we have, like friendship, family, kinship, professional relationship, marriage, brotherhood, sisterhood. Such kind of forms we have been following in our day-to-day life. So these are the forms of interpersonal relationship. Again, interpersonal relationship for an individual, what kind of relationship for individual is required? That is personal growth and development. If you have good interpersonal relationship, you may have chances of personal growth and development. There is growth and enjoyment, there is a sense of security, there is a context of understanding, there is interpersonal needs, there is an establishing of personal identity. And these all things you may find in your family, these all things you may find in your friend circle, these all things you may find in your group, in your team, in your professional career. Okay, and these things are required for an individual. Again, interpersonal relationship for manager or leader. So what kind of interpersonal relationship a manager should have? See here, understanding self, that a manager should understand himself. What means he should analyze his, he should do his SWOT analysis. Then building a positive functional multidisciplinary team. As manager, or as a leader, he should build a positive functional multidisciplinary team. Okay, there it doesn't mean that you have given a project but project on a topic or a activity, and another project is given to another team on B incident or B topic or regarding B object. Okay, so these are the separate two teams, but as a leader or as a manager, he should mix up the different members and do the task uniquely. Having two objects are there, that is A or B, or having two projects are there, that is A or B, he should he should motivate team A and B separately, as well as he should motivate all members of team A and B simultaneously. That is called here interdisciplinary team. So improving intra and or other team communication, coordination and cooperation. As manager or a leader, he should improve his communication, coordination and cooperation. Again, improved decision making and problem solving. As manager or leader, he should have improved decision making skill. He should have problem solving skill. If he doesn't have those skills, then he should, with the help of coordination, cooperation or communication, should solve that problem in the team or in the group by taking their assistance of team members or group members. Again, what is the importance of communications here in interpersonal communication, interpersonal relationship? So what is said here, as Elizabeth Bogarde said, communication is the lifeline of any relationship. Without it, the relationship will starve to its death, and it is obviously right. If you may take simple example, if you don't communicate with your parents or with your brother sister, then how can they know that you have some needs, you have some necessity, you have some requirements? Likewise, there are so many wars happen in the history, in the past. It was happened because of miscommunication or misunderstanding. So there should be proper communication. So communication is the lifeline of any relationship. Without it, the relationship will starve to its death. Again, according to Joel Osteen, what he says here, you can change your world You can change your world by changing your words. Remember, death and life are in the power of the tongue. Okay, it is also right. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. Okay, if you say I will kill you, means you are blackmailing. If you say I like your activities, then you are building the relationship. hmm? You are enjoying your life. And if you say I will kill you, means you are leading yourself or someone else to the death. And it happens because of communication. So communication is the one of the prominent feature or object in the interpersonal relationship. Again, half the world is composed of people who have nothing to say. Yeah, who have something to say and can't. And the other half who have nothing to say and keep on saying it. Okay? Means see here what the thing Robert Frost want to mention here. Means there are some people who have so many things with them to share with the people, but they can't. And on the other hand, there are some people who have nothing to say but keep on saying it. So this is the contrasting situation. Again, Will Durant, what he says here, to say nothing, especially when speaking, is half the art of diplomacy. Means you are saying nothing, then you have some diplomacy. You are thinking about something, but you are not sharing that. So it is the art of diplomacy. Then George G.B. Shaw says, how does communication fail? The single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place. We feel that yes, before saying that it might be happened somewhere. It might be done by someone. And this is the biggest problem. And we imagine that yes, it might have done by someone else. So there is no necessity to talk about that. Okay? So that time our communication fail because we can't share that. We have that illusion. We have that dream, but we can't react. Okay? So let's share. Think of any moment, incident in your professional or personal life where you think that interpersonal communication seriously broken down, intentionally or unintentionally, and you had an important lesson for your life. Okay, that's why it is said. So share briefly in the plenary, means whatever you want to share in brief. Okay, so this is one thing about this slide is that you must share that you have thought. Okay, you must share that you have thought about your moment, about your incident in your professional life or personal life. Okay, so here is a diagram given. See, interpersonal relationship that goes on between self, one to one, group member, and all work is done through these relationships. Okay, we have our own relationship with ourselves, we have one to one relationship, we have relationship with group members. Okay, and because of this type of relationships, interpersonal relationships, we can do our work properly. Okay, so another things here, empathy. So it is a part of interpersonal skill. Empathy, acceptance, assertiveness. Okay, these are the features of interpersonal skill, and prominent key in the interpersonal skill is communication. So see here feature about that empathy. So the what is that empathy? You might have already discussed in previous year. Okay, again here I will revise this part. See, the ability to stand in another's shoes, to feel what is like there, and to care about making it better if it hurts. Okay, the ability to stand in another's shoes, to feel what it's like there, and to care about making it better if it hurts. Means you have to feel that if another person is bored, having some problems, then you may imagine that what if I have what if I have I had the same problem. I had solved the problem, I faced that problem, and I also solved that problem. And whether that technique is used by another person or not, this thing we think about in our mind, that is called empathy. Again, it is a hypothesis we make about another person based on a combination of visceral, emotional, and cognitive information. Again, it is an attempt to experience the inner life of another while retaining objectivity. Okay, we attempt to experience the inner life of another person while retaining objectivity. That is the empathy. Means we think about others, what he might be feeling about that situation, about the problem, and that is called here empathy. Means we putting ourselves into another's shoes. Then 6 habits of empathic people. 6 habits of empathic people. See, the empathic people, as Krishnarik said in 2012, he says that one habit is that of empathic people is he cultivates curiosity about strangers. He cultivates curiosity about strangers. He challenges prejudices and explore commonalities. Then he try another person's life. He listens hard and open up. He inspires mass action and social image. He develops an ambitious imagination. So these are very important for us to be an empathetic person. And if you are already an empathetic person, then match 100% these habits somewhere matches to your personality. Okay, I will repeat here. Habits of empathetic people: cultivating curiosity about strangers, challenge prejudices and explore commonalities, try another person's life, listen hard and open up, inspire mass action and social image, and develop an ambitious imagination. These are the 6 habits of empathetic people. Then assertiveness. Assertiveness is, what is the mean by assertiveness? It enables an individual to act in his or her best interest without denying or infringing upon the rights of others. If someone has deployed any work to that person, he accepts that work and completes with interest. That is called assertiveness. Then allows people to speak their minds without hurting or threatening others. That is assertiveness. Allows people to express anger or disappointment without acting aggressively. That is assertiveness. Okay. Then it enables an individual to act in his or her best interest without denying or infringing upon the rights of others. We already discussed about this. We give someone will give time to express his anger and again come on that track. Okay, these are the features of assertiveness. Again, assertive communicators. What assertive communicators do? They are open about their feelings. Okay, then they are not anxious. They deal with stressful situations calmly. Okay, they are not anxious. They deal with stressful situations calmly. Again, they are contentious. They stand up and argue for their rights even if this might entail a certain disagreement or conflict. That is called here assertive communicators. Okay. Again, they are not intimidated and are not easily persuaded by others. Yes, these are assertive. Anything, if they don't like that thing and someone else is going to persuade him, then it is very difficult to persuade those assertive people that about that particular thing. That is called about this one. They are not intimidated or not easily persuaded by others. Then how we can develop assertiveness? How we can develop assertiveness? So acknowledge that people are responsible for their own behavior. acknowledge that people are responsible for their behavior. Okay, you should acknowledge that they are acknowledge that those people are not responsible for their own behavior. Again, express negative thoughts and feelings in a healthy and positive manner. Express negative thoughts and feelings in a healthy and positive manner. Yes, if you have any negative thoughts in your mind, you should express those negative things or feelings in a healthy and positive manner. Okay, means you have built up that skill in your mind. Yes, if it is a wrong thing, we may improve that in future. That is called here assertiveness. Then identify your needs and wants and ask for them to be satisfied. Okay, identify your needs and wants and ask for them to be satisfied. Just you have to identify your needs and wants, means what are your necessities, and try to complete that things with satisfaction. And value yourself and not your right and your rights. Value yourself and your rights. You should think what your rights. You should think what kind of value you have. Okay, then receive criticism and compliments positively. Okay, whatever criticism is done by other person, you should receive it. You should receive it positively. You should receive compliments given by others positively. So learn to say no when you need to. Okay, means whenever suppose you have so much task to be done, and at that time you don't have enough time to complete the another work, that time you may say no. Means whenever there is overload, you can say no, and it is the need to say no, and that is the key to assertiveness. Then here 1 minute exercise is given to you. Okay, list as much people as you can who you would like most. List as much people as you can who you dislike most. Okay, so let us stop here, and you may follow this thing, and after solving these things you may realize that whether you are very much assertiveness or not, whether you have that quality or not. Okay, I hope you have understood well. So do this task. Okay, so let us stop here. We may proceed in next video the remaining part. So till then, thank you and have a good day.